There comes a time in your life when everything seems stagnant. You feel stuck, uncertain, maybe even lost. But in that moment, when you least expect it, someone will come, not as a savior, not as a miracle worker, but as a force that will shake you awake, challenge your doubts, and push you to rise. This person won't always speak in grand words or make dramatic gestures. Instead, they will see something in you that you don't yet see in yourself. They will recognize your potential before you do. They will push you when you hesitate, encourage you when you falter, and remind you again and again that you are capable of more. It won't always be easy. Growth never is. This person will demand more from you, not out of criticism, but out of belief. They will challenge your excuses, your fears, and the smallness of your thinking. They will ask you to step up, to rise beyond your doubts, to step into the version of yourself that you were always meant to be. And when that moment comes, when you finally see what they see, you will understand why they came into your life. Because some people don't just enter your world, they uplift it. They ignite something within you that can never be put out. So be ready. That person will come. And when they do, listen, learn, and rise. The power of influence is one of the most profound forces in human interaction. It shapes decisions, molds perspectives, and determines the trajectory of personal and collective growth. Influence is not just about control or persuasion. It is about the ability to inspire change, ignite thought, and shift behavior. Every person, knowingly or unknowingly, is influenced by someone or something. From childhood, individuals are shaped by the environment, the people they interact with, and the experiences they encounter. The voices that speak to them, the role models they admire, and the lessons they internalize all play a part in defining their path. Influence operates on multiple levels. It can be direct, where someone actively seeks to impact another's choices, or indirect, where behaviors and attitudes are shaped by observation. Parents influence children, teachers influence students, leaders influence followers, and society influences individuals. However, true influence extends beyond authority and power. It is not merely about enforcing rules or dictating behavior. It is about the capacity to touch lives, inspire action, and shift paradigms in a way that lasts beyond the moment of interaction. One of the most significant aspects of influence is that it often works subtly. It does not always come in loud, forceful messages. Sometimes a quiet example is far more powerful than words. A person who consistently demonstrates resilience in the face of adversity influences those around them to adopt a similar mindset. Someone who remains kind, even in difficult situations, influences others to approach life with more empathy. Influence is not about telling people what to do, but showing them a different way of thinking and being, often without them realizing it. The power of influence is also seen in leadership. A leader is not just someone who commands, but someone who inspires. People follow those they believe in, not just because of authority, but because of trust. A great leader does not demand loyalty. They earn it by demonstrating integrity, vision, and an ability to uplift those around them. Leaders who use their influence for positive change inspire movements, create revolutions, and build legacies that extend beyond their time. Throughout history, the most influential figures have been those who could connect with people on a deep level, speak to their aspirations, and challenge them to rise above mediocrity. Beyond leadership, influence plays a role in personal relationships. A friend can influence another friend's choices, either for good or bad. In the presence of a supportive, encouraging friend, a person may find themselves more confident, more willing to take risks, and more capable of facing challenges. On the other hand, negative influence can lead individuals down destructive paths. Influence is powerful because it bypasses logic at times, shaping emotions and unconscious decisions. A single encouraging word can push someone toward success, just as a single discouraging remark can make them doubt themselves. Media and culture are also strong forces of influence. The way stories are told, the way role models are portrayed, and the messages embedded in entertainment all shape how people think and behave. People often adopt attitudes, fashion, and even ideologies based on what they see and hear repeatedly. This is why narratives matter, representation matters, and the kind of content people consume matter. It is not just about entertainment, it is about shaping mindsets, setting expectations, and defining what is considered normal or aspirational. Influence is also deeply tied to belief systems. The way people see the world, their values, and their ethics are all products of influence. A child raised in an environment of fear will develop a mindset of caution and hesitation. A child raised in an environment of encouragement and possibilities will grow up believing in endless opportunities. The words spoken to people, the way they are treated, and the expectations set for them become the foundation upon which they build their self-image and approach to life. The strongest influence comes from those who practice what they preach. Authenticity is a key factor in influence. People may listen to words, but they follow actions. A person who speaks about discipline but lacks it in their own life will struggle to influence others effectively. On the other hand, someone who embodies the principles they advocate for will naturally inspire others to follow suit. Influence is not about forcing people into compliance. It is about making them see a better version of themselves through example. It is also important to recognize that influence is not always intentional. Sometimes, the most significant impact a person has on another comes from simply being themselves. A passionate artist inspires others to pursue their creativity. A hardworking individual inspires those around them to strive for excellence. A person who shows courage in difficult moments influences others to find their own strength. Influence does not require effort if it is genuine. Because influence is so powerful, it is crucial to be aware of who and what is shaping one's thoughts and decisions. Many people go through life unaware of how much they are being influenced by external forces. Whether it is social norms, peer pressure, or subtle media messaging, influence operates in ways that are not always immediately obvious. The key to navigating influence wisely is to consciously choose what and who to be influenced by. Seeking mentors, role models, and environments that align with one's aspirations ensures that the influence one absorbs is constructive rather than limiting. Understanding the power of influence also means recognizing one's own ability to influence others. Every person, whether they realize it or not, is an influence in someone else's life. The words spoken, the actions taken, and the energy projected into the world all contribute to the shaping of those around them. Recognizing this power is both a privilege and a responsibility. It means choosing to be a source of encouragement rather than discouragement, of inspiration rather than limitation. Influence is not about manipulation or control, it is about impact. The best kind of influence is the one that empowers, not the one that restricts. It is the influence that makes people better, that pushes them toward growth, and that helps them see the possibilities they might not have recognized on their own. Influence is a gift that, when used wisely, can transform lives in ways that go beyond the immediate moment. Recognizing the uplifter in one's life is an essential yet often overlooked aspect of personal growth. This person is not always obvious, nor do they always announce their intentions. They can come in many forms: a mentor, a friend, a teacher, a stranger, or even someone who challenges and pushes an individual beyond their comfort zone. The uplifter is someone who enters a person's life and, whether through direct actions or subtle influence, helps them become a better version of themselves. Their presence is transformative, even if their role is not immediately recognized. An uplifter does not necessarily fit the traditional image of a guide or mentor. They are not always the person with the loudest voice, nor are they always in a position of authority. Sometimes they are the quiet supporter in the background, offering encouragement when it is needed most. Other times, they are the challenger, the one who refuses to let someone settle for less than their potential. The difficulty in recognizing the uplifter lies in the fact that they do not always come in a way that is expected or easy to accept. Their impact is often subtle, revealed only over time when looking back at the moments they shaped. One of the defining characteristics of an uplifter is their ability to see potential where others do not. They recognize strengths before the individual does. While many people focus on what is wrong, what is missing, or what is lacking, the uplifter sees what is possible. They notice hidden talents, untapped abilities, and qualities that even the person themselves may not have realized. This ability to see beyond limitations is what makes their influence so powerful. An uplifter does not just offer empty encouragement, they push for action. They understand that growth does not come from comfort, so they challenge the individual to rise above excuses, doubts, and fears. Sometimes their presence is comforting, offering words of reassurance and belief. Other times they push hard, refusing to accept mediocrity. They challenge with purpose, knowing that real progress requires discomfort. Their words and actions may not always be easy to hear or accept, but they come from a place of belief in the person's potential. Many people fail to recognize their uplifters because they expect support to come in a specific form: gentle, comforting, and obvious. However, not all uplifters are soft in their approach. Some uplift by challenging, by holding high expectations, by refusing to let someone give up on themselves. A coach who demands excellence, a mentor who pushes beyond perceived limits, a friend who refuses to accept self-doubt, all of these are forms of uplifting, even if they do not fit the traditional idea of encouragement. Recognizing the uplifter also requires a level of self-awareness. It means being open to influence and willing to acknowledge the impact that others have had. Too often, people take their uplifters for granted, failing to see the significance of their role until much later. It is easy to overlook the one who consistently offers guidance, who provides strength in moments of doubt, or who pushes for improvement in ways that feel uncomfortable. The realization often comes in hindsight, when the lessons they imparted begin to take effect. Uplifters are not necessarily present for an entire lifetime. Some enter a person's life for a brief moment, but leave a lasting impact. A single conversation, a piece of advice at the right time, or a shared experience can change the course of a person's life. Others remain for years, providing continuous support and influence. Their duration does not determine their significance. What matters is the shift they create in one's mindset, actions, and growth. It is also important to recognize that an uplifter does not always appear in a positive light at first. Sometimes they come in the form of adversity, as a person who challenges and even frustrates. A strict teacher, a demanding coach, or a relentless mentor may seem difficult in the moment, but their influence often proves invaluable. Growth rarely comes from ease. It comes from challenge, from being pushed beyond what is comfortable. The uplifter understands this and does not hesitate to hold someone accountable to their potential. An uplifter is not always a single person. Sometimes it is a collective influence. A community, a team, or a group of like-minded individuals can serve as a powerful, uplifting force. The presence of people who share a vision of growth, who support and challenge each other, creates an environment where progress is inevitable. The energy of those around a person plays a crucial role in their development. And surrounding oneself with uplifters whether individuals or communities, ensures continuous growth. Another key aspect of recognizing the uplifter is gratitude. Too often, people do not realize the significance of those who uplift them until much later. Acknowledging their role, expressing appreciation, and understanding the impact they have had is essential. It strengthens relationships, deepens connections, and reinforces the positive cycle of influence. The presence of an uplifter is a reminder that no one achieves growth alone. While personal effort and determination are crucial, the right influences can accelerate progress in ways that self-reliance alone cannot. Recognizing them means being open to their guidance, accepting their challenges, and understanding that their influence is a gift that shapes the journey forward. Your role in the process of upliftment is just as important as the presence of an uplifter. While others may offer guidance, encouragement, or challenges, the responsibility for growth ultimately lies within. No matter how strong or wise an uplifter may be, their impact depends on willingness to receive, act, and transform. It is not enough to simply have someone who uplifts. The process requires engagement, effort, and an active role in embracing their influence. One of the first responsibilities in this process is openness. It is easy to resist the push toward growth, especially when it comes in the form of challenge or discomfort. The natural instinct is to seek comfort, to remain within familiar boundaries, and to reject anything that forces change. However, growth is only possible when there is a willingness to listen, reflect, and accept that improvement often requires stepping beyond what is easy. Openness means being receptive to lessons, even when they come from unexpected places or in unexpected ways. Another essential role in this process is self-awareness. Recognizing strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement allows for meaningful engagement with an uplifter. Without self-awareness, guidance may be dismissed or misinterpreted. The ability to honestly assess where growth is needed helps in making the most of the support and challenges offered. This does not mean constant self-criticism, but rather a balanced understanding of what can be improved and a willingness to work toward that improvement. A critical aspect of the process is taking initiative. An uplifter can provide direction, but they cannot walk the path. Effort must come from within. Progress is not made through passive reception of advice. It is made through action. This means implementing lessons, practicing discipline, and taking consistent steps toward goals. No amount of external support can replace the internal drive required to make meaningful change. Even the best guidance is ineffective if not put into practice. Another part of this process is resilience. Growth is rarely a smooth path, and setbacks are inevitable. An uplifter may offer motivation and perspective, but perseverance must come from within. There will be moments of doubt, failure, and frustration. In those moments, it is crucial to remember that setbacks are not the end of progress, but a necessary part of it. How challenges are handled determines whether they become obstacles or stepping stones. The ability to push forward despite difficulties is a key factor in benefiting from an uplifter's influence. A person's role in this process also includes a willingness to challenge themselves. Growth does not come from doing only what is comfortable or familiar. It requires pushing beyond limitations, breaking through fears, and setting higher standards. This means embracing discomfort, whether it comes in the form of constructive criticism, increased expectations, or new experiences. An uplifter may introduce challenges, but the decision to take them on and push forward is an individual choice. Another responsibility is maintaining a growth mindset. The belief that abilities, intelligence, and skills can be developed over time is essential in making the most of any uplifting influence. A fixed mindset, which assumes that growth is limited, prevents progress. The way challenges and feedback are viewed makes a difference. Seeing difficulties as opportunities rather than as threats allows for continuous improvement. No one is perfect, and there is always room to grow, but a person must be willing to adopt that perspective. Accountability is another major part of the process. An uplifter may provide guidance, but it is up to the individual to hold themselves responsible for their progress. It is easy to make excuses, to blame circumstances, or to expect someone else to fix problems. However, real growth comes from taking ownership of actions, decisions, and outcomes. Being accountable means recognizing when effort is lacking and making the necessary adjustments to stay on track. In addition to personal growth, a key part of the process is learning to uplift others. Just as someone benefits from an uplifter, there is an opportunity to pass that influence on to others. Encouraging, guiding, and challenging others creates a cycle of growth that extends beyond personal development. Sharing experiences, offering support, and pushing others toward their potential strengthens both individual and collective progress.